Hello everyone, I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to GregTech New Horizons. So before we get started with today's episode, I just want to point out that it's been about 10 days since I've last played in this world, and I just got back from a vacation. But before I left, I recorded a ton of episodes that would come out while I've been away, so I just wanted to kind of mention that. And this is my first episode I'm making since I've been back, and I'm ready to carry on and push forward in this pack. So, let's get into it today. Now, today we're going to cover a variety of topics, I think, but kind of a central theme for today's episode, if you will, I think will be agriculture. So, I've already been playing for a couple of hours, and I've been trying to complete a couple of things around the base, trying to kind of improve some stuff. So, let's just kind of get right into it, and I'll show you what I've been up to. So, the big thing I've been up to is kind of expanding our farms a bit, and also a couple of other things as well, which you can't really see too well from up here. So, let's go take a look at it, shall we? Now, I've added quite a few new paths, so I've added a new kind of central road right down the middle here, and adjusted a couple of other paths as well along the way. But yeah, over here, I've been working on some crop areas and some animal farms. Animal pens, if you will. And what we've got is, we've got some cows, which are the same cows I had from over there earlier, if you remember, so I've just moved those over here. But we also have some sheep, we've also got some chickens, and we've also got some pigs. Now, the chickens have been a particular trouble, and the reason for that kind of stems from the biome we're in. So we currently reside in a rainforest biome, and in this biome, you do occasionally get some groups of ocelots that spawn in. Now, I didn't realize this before, and it is nighttime, so actually let's go to sleep, but I didn't realize this before, but apparently ocelots don't really like chickens, and they do tend to attack them. So what I did was, and by the way, actually to get the chickens, I couldn't even find them around the area. I found the other animals. I couldn't really find chickens around the area, so what I did to get the chickens was I came into the quest book here, and I scrolled down to coins, 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 and there's this thing you can do where you can buy 16 eggs for 20 of the cook coins. So I did that, and I threw some of those eggs in there, and we got some baby chickens. So once I got two, I left them be, and I left for a while, came back, there's no more chickens. And yeah, the ocelots attacked them, so I had to add a second kind of layer of fence here to kind of prevent that. And really what would happen was the chicken would be standing right here at the edge of the fence, the ocelot would be here, and it would still be able to get in there and kill it, essentially. So that's kind of what the issue there was. So once I put that fence in, though, that wasn't the end of my trouble, because now they started coming in from above, so I had to put a fence up on this little ledge over here. And really, this is kind of my fault, because in reality, I should have put these farms probably over here, not kind of right against this ledge here, but we made do with it. And yeah, so I solved that issue too. But then I had another issue happen. Eventually, we had some sort of a herd of ocelots that spawned in the sheep pen, and they were actually getting the chickens from right here, so I had to put another double kind of fence area over there. So at this point, though, I pretty much have protected the chickens, with one exception. That exception would be if a group of ocelots actually spawns in that pen. If they spawn in there, I can't really do anything about that at that point. But for now, we're okay. But yeah, I'll have to hopefully not have that happen. But we'll see. But yeah, that's what I've been up to with the animals over there, and it is quite noisy over there. But yeah, over here, we've got a couple of different things. So what I've got over here is about 4 plots. It doesn't look like 4, kind of looks like 2, but it's really 4 different plots. Now, over here, we've got our cotton area, which we had before. And yeah, we're getting a ton of cotton. We've got 34, almost 35 stacks of cotton in the barrel, so that's quite good. Over here, we have an assortment of different crops, which is essentially what we were growing before, but some of them are different. So we've still got wheat, we've still got carrots, we've got tomatoes, soybeans, peanuts, coffee beans, cabbage, and some pineapple. So a couple of different things in case we need, some different foods from there. Now over here, I've added something a little bit different in. So these are called oak bonsais, and this is part of IC2 crops. And what we're going to do with these is I'm kind of going to use these as a supplement for our trees over there. Now, for me, it takes, you know, a couple of minutes to chop down those trees. It's faster than it was now that we have the haste hatchet, which does speed things up, but it still does take a couple of minutes to chop down all those trees. With these, once they're fully grown, I can harvest these and it's just going to give me wood and occasionally some other stuff as well. Now, it's a little bit different, but there's a lot more things to also talk about with these in general, because there's different things like stats, breeding, stuff like that, but we're not going to cover much about that today. Today I just want to get these planted down and kind of show you what it looks like once we harvest them. They're almost ready, not quite yet, but we'll probably harvest them a little bit later once they are fully grown. They don't take too long, but yeah. But for now, at least for IC2 crops, we're not going to get too involved in that. I just want to get these down and show you what these are like, but there will be other stuff we will do, and you know, breeding is going to be a big part of our future with IC2 crops. Now, I don't really want to do that yet because we need to make something called a plant lens, if I can spell that. Yeah, plant lens, that one. And the thing we need is a glass lens in order to make that, which needs some glass. And technically, I could get glass from trading with a villager, but I don't really want to do that. So we're going to have to wait a little bit until I actually can make some glass so that we can use the plant lens and get into actual crop breeding. But for now, at least in terms of IC2 crops, this is what we're going to do for now. And this should help us quite a bit with our wood production. And up there, what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to take those trees down. I think I'm going to replace them with rubber trees. I think that will be quite a good idea. So, yeah, that's what I've done at least out here. And we've also got, well, we've also got a couple of gardens here. I figured I might as well just, you know, use something here. You know, give it some sort of use. So we've got a couple of gardens spreading there. Not too many. It's not a huge area, but yeah. This area hasn't really seen any changes. There is an ender creeper there. I do want to kill him, if we can. Which may be harder than it looks, because they do tend to teleport. No, I don't think we're going to get him. Anyways, over here, we have an area of expansion I'm working on. So basically what I do is anytime I get dirt, it just goes straight into here. And I've said it before, but I want to expand over this direction quite a bit, just so we've got more land to work with. And yeah, every time I get dirt, I fill in more and more of the lake over here, and I'll do that over here as well. But for now, I'm focused on this area, so I'm steadily progressing on that as well. And yeah, so I've been working on that. And that's pretty much what I've done so far. This area, again, not much has changed, but we'll get to work on that eventually. This is what's left of the kind of pretty sizable pond we had at first in the middle area over here. This is what we've got left of it, and I've been steadily draining some of that water, using it for various things. But yeah, that's what we've been doing there. Now, today, I want to carry on with a couple more quests, and we're going to do a couple of different type of quests. Also, I got some of these right here. These are cocoa beans. Now, I hadn't found them naturally yet, but I got them from a quest reward for the, I think it was this one. This is the crop stick quest. So I got them from there. So yeah, that was something we got. Another thing I've also done was I made this thing which is called a scoop, and this is going to be used to actually harvest beehives. The reason I did it was because we had a beehive. You probably noticed it before. We had a beehive just floating out here for quite a while now, and I couldn't actually break it without a scoop. So I made one, and I broke it, and that's gone now. We got a couple of bees. I don't think they're really good. It's not really something we can work with right now, but probably in the future we'll do bees. For future, but we'll get there eventually. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to, and what we're going to do today is we're going to knock off a couple of quests that I have up here, a couple of items I want to make today. So I've already talked about the scoop, I've talked about the crop sticks, and by the way, this is how you make the crop sticks. You just use some of the longwood sticks, which is essentially just wood with a saw and a file. It's not that hard to make. The scoop is just a couple of rods of various types. It's basically like any other GregTech tool. You can use any material you want. You just use the rods, and you also use a piece of wool. So also a hammer and a wire cutter. So yeah, that's how you make the scoop. We can put that up as well right now. I don't think we'll need that today. Let's put those feathers up as well. So yeah, for today, we're going to do some of this. We don't need that. Yeah, let's start by getting the butchery knife, because that is one of the quests we have in the Stone Age. So, the butchery knife, we're going to need some plates. So this is another GregTech tool as well. But what this is going to be is it's kind of going to be an upgraded knife. So what we're going to get out of this is more kind of loot from animals when you kill them. And they won't explode either, I don't think. But yeah, I want to get this because this is going to help with harvesting things, you know, from our animal pens we have. So we're going to need some more iron. And I've also gotten a ton more ingots up here now. So we've got more iron. We've got more copper and tin. So we've got 8 stacks of iron, 7.5 stacks of copper, and 9 stacks of tin. So we're doing quite well on some of our basic resources right now. Let's take a stack of iron. Why not? And we're going to need some plates. We're going to need some rods. I'll make a few extra. And now, is that all we need for the butchery knife? Yeah, it is. You just use a file and a hammer. And there you go. So there's your butchery knife. So, don't know if we have any animals around to actually test this on, but I can use on a cow, I don't mind. I can breed them back up. Yeah, there's the quest, which is right here. And, oh, we get quite a few things actually from that. I think we get all of that. We get zombie spawn eggs, some leather, creeper, coins. Pretty good. But yeah, let's test this on here. So this thing has looting 2 and sharpness 1, so it's going to be quite an upgrade from the knife. Yeah. We got only 1 leather from that, but we got, I think, quite a bit of raw beef, actually. So it is pretty useful. It's pretty good. Pretty nice little upgrade, and it is something we are going to use to, you know, get some drops from some animals as needed. So yeah, that's something there. Let's put these spawn eggs away as well. I don't remember where I put these at. I think I had a chest of them somewhere, but I guess they go in here. It's alright, I'll do that. It is nighttime again. It comes very quickly. So much to do. The days just fly by in this pack. So yeah, that's the butchery knife. The next thing I want to get done with today is make the iron scythe. And this has its own quest, which is this one. So this is going to be useful in taking out a ton of leaves on like trees and stuff. You know, when I try to clear out some more land, you know, some of these things get in the way, so that might help with that. But I do want to make that. So let's make this iron scythe here. So we're going to need some more iron plates. Yeah, let's just make a few. And let's see, hammer. What else do we need? Those are just sticks. Okay, that actually looks like it's doable. There we go, iron scythe. So that was a pretty easy one. Let's test it out as well, why not? So this should be useful, I think, for clearing out things like, you know, leaves. Can use on these trees over here. We're not going to have them much longer. We'll actually go check on those oak bonsais as well. Yeah, takes basically the whole entire tree out. So yeah, if you need to get rid of leaves quickly, that's one way to do it. Yep, whole tree. Whole entire, you know, leaves taken out, just like that. So yeah, quite good. So that's something. And let's see, those look like they're ready to go. So we're going to do a little bit of a test here. So I want to see how much of this we have. Let's dump this for now. I don't want that to contaminate our findings here, because I think we're going to get quite a bit of wood from this. So let's see what happens. Yep, so if we right-click it, you'll get the drop. So that we got 8 logs right there just from that. Now, you don't always get drops, but what we can do is just run along here. And you do get a couple of things like apples, saplings. Yeah, just from that, well, we got 47. There we go. Keep going. Yeah, we're getting a ton of wood from this. This is a huge upgrade right now for our wood production. Oh, this is going to be a huge upgrade. I think the days of chopping down trees is over now. Oh yeah, this is a lot of wood. If I want to, I could expand even further over to that area. I just kept that one open for now. Let's see how much we got. Yeah, 5 stacks of wood from, I think this is about 80 bonsais. So, yeah, this is really, really good. Like, really good. And it takes that thing and makes it pretty much useless now. We get tons of wood in almost no time at all now. So that is a huge thing. Let's put this away now. Yeah, let's put the coins away as well. Oh, I also wanted to point out that I've found out something quite interesting about the iron bars. So you may notice they look a little bit different, and the reason for that is I found out actually you can chisel iron bars. So if I show you that, yeah, they have some different kind of chisel variants. The one I went with was actually the vertical iron bars, just because it gives you a little bit more visibility. Normally you have those kind of little horizontal kind of lines. Instead now it's all vertical, so it gives you a little bit more visibility. I've replaced all the iron bars in the base with them, so it just gives us a little bit more visibility around the area. Also, I want to mention down here I've started a little bit kind of some food storage. Now, there's not really any kind of structure to what I'm deciding to put into here, except for it basically being, if I have more than a stack of something, I'm throwing it in these drawers. I don't want to fill these chests up too much with, you know, stacks of the same kind of food. So instead, you know, apples, for example, I just throw it in the drawer. Now, making these is a little bit expensive. Well, it's not too expensive, but the frame drawers are a little bit different from the normal drawers, so that's what we're using here. So if I go look up the frame drawers, it's not the same as the normal drawers, which I think is something like the chests. You just use chests. Let's see here. So the 2x2 frame drawers, yeah. So you normally use just normal wood with the chests. Here you use something called carpenter's block, which, yeah, it's a little bit more complicated. You need wood frame box, you need wood screws. You could use iron screws to make more, but you need this, which is just sticks. This obviously is, you know, sticks. It's a bit more involved. So for now, I've just got 4 of them, which is what we got from a quest a long time ago. But eventually, I'll try and fill all these little kind of cubby holes with them, which I think will make for a nice little area of food storage. So with that being said, oh, I also have this right here. This is a quest I think this is a quest right here. Monster jerky. So, yep, crispy rotten flesh. So how I made this was I put rotten flesh in a drying rack, and it does take quite a while. I think that's 20 minutes. You get something called monster jerky. So it's just a quest we had in the, let's see, fishing, farming, and cooking tab. Yep, this one right here. So the reward, we can get another kind of jerky. So beef jerky, chicken jerky, bacon jerky, mutton jerky, or fish jerky. Now, that decision I think I've already made, because over here I've actually made 4 other types of jerky. So we've got chicken jerky, we've got bacon jerky, that one is fish jerky, and that is beef jerky. So the only one left to take is the mutton jerky. So I'll take that one. And for now, I'll just put these all in here. But this is a bunch of different types of food now, so that will help get us some more hearts. And speaking of which, actually, I'm a little bit hungry, so let's eat some of that. I did get a golden apple as well. I don't remember where I got it from, but Oh yeah, I got it from a mob. I killed one of those infernal mobs and it dropped a golden apple. See some of these. They are not the best food, but, you know, every little bit counts when it comes to making new kind of food and getting more hearts. So yeah, that's what I've been up to. Also, I've been also trying to get another quest done. We've got this one as well. I guess some more crop sticks and seeds, I guess. So another quest I've been trying to do is in the Stone Age. This is a little bit of an older quest. With this one right here. Personally, I prefer Pepsi. So this is something to do with the coke ovens. So we've really only been burning wood in the coke ovens, but you can also burn other things. For example, you can use coal to get coal coke. You can use cactus to get cactus charcoal, sugar cane, sugar charcoal. So what I've actually done is I've already done that. So we've got some coal coke, cactus charcoal, and some sugar charcoal. So I've already done that in these. And we also need to make the cactus coke and the sugar coke, and that is going to be made by throwing the cactus charcoal back in. So I guess, yeah, cactus charcoal goes back in, and I'm going to guess the sugar charcoal is the same thing. Yep, that's how you get the sugar coke. So we'll get that quest done here pretty soon as well. And I did see another quest as well. We didn't turn this one in yet. Now give us, I'll take the loot bag. I don't think we need another one of those. 4 iron ore is not much either. Take that as well. And we'll dump the coins off in here. Put the loot bag in there. Alright, so that takes out the iron scythe. Let's move on to this. So this is a saddle and a lead. And that is going to be related to this quest right here. So I just want to knock this one out now. So let's make ourselves the saddle, which we almost have everything. We need some iron rings. Not too difficult to make. I think we needed a carpet as well, it said. Let's just take the 2 wool. And that should make us the saddle. Now we need to make the lead, which is slime ball. We have one in here. 2, in fact. There we go. There's our lead. So that, yep, that's the quest there. So that's going to give me a horse spawn egg. I don't really think that's something that's going to be very, very useful. Really, because, you know, if you look around our area, we've got water all over here, all over here. Even down here, it's all kind of like marshy, swampy areas. And then if we go over here, it's just all mountains. So, not really in a good spot for horse terrain. So, I don't really know if I'm going to use a horse. But, you know, if you need to use it, depending on your area, it can be quite useful. We actually already had a spawn horse egg as well. Another loot bag as well to turn in, and some coins. So, nighttime is almost here once again, but yeah, that knocks out that quest. So at 70 out of 86, we're getting ever closer to the Steam Age. But I do want to see if we can get another quest done today. Let's see. This one right here. This is the simple wind meter. So this is actually going to be the kind of leading phase into kind of a new multi-block that we don't really need to make it, but it's something I want to make today. Not today, but in the future, soon. And I want to make this, because this is kind of one of the leading quests. So this quest and this quest are kind of related to it. So the multi-block I'm talking about is this one right here, Grinding with Wind. So this is a windmill. So it's quite involved to make, but yeah, it's something I do want to make relatively soon. I'm not exactly sure when we'll make this, but at least for now, I want to get this made up, because this is something I think that kind of helps us show you where to build one. So let's kind of make it. Simple wind meter. It's not that hard. Just need a piece of wool. It does have a durability, but it's not that hard to make. So I'm not actually sure how this works, but the windmill's kind of a weird thing. We don't really need it. And we've got all of this. I'm not even sure what we should take here either. Loot bag's tempting, but Yeah, I may hold off on that reward. But I've had a couple ideas, so I think what you do with this is just right-click it. Yep, it says the wind here seems to be common. And let's see if this thing tells us anything as well. Paper rotors are great in low winds. Wool rotors are cheap. Leather rotors are durable. It doesn't tell you too much. But I think what we want, is stronger wind. So I've had a couple ideas on where we could build this. That one's common wind. Let's see. I don't know if it's going to be too different. I don't know how this works that much, but, it's a learning experience. In fact, let's go up here. Oh, the wind here seems to be rather strong, so this could be something. That could be an area to build it. I'm not sure actually if strong wind's good or bad. I would assume for a windmill would be good. So that's what I'm going with. That's one area I've been thinking about building it when we do get to that. Another one is possibly right here. Let's see. Wind here seems to be common. So maybe if we do build it, it'll be up there. We'll see. But yeah, so that is the simple wind meter. So yeah, kind of a strange little thing, but it's all part of a bigger project which we'll be working on. So yeah, that knocks out pretty much the main quest I wanted to do today. And yeah, so we'll have to move on to that at some point. Combined primitive rotor. Yeah, that's quite involved. Yeah, there's a lot involved in there. In fact, this is meant to kind of help with that, but I don't think it's going to help too much. I think we'll take the loot bag. Let's take the loot bag, and let's open a few to end off today. We've even got a couple Steam ones still. And we're not even in the Steam age yet, so we could get some quite useful items. So let's fix up a couple things here before we do that. And I think that's how we're going to end things off for today. Opening up some loot bags. I'll put these in here for now, why not? Oh, we also have these as well. I almost forgot. The sugar coke and the cactus coke. So that's another quest that should be ticked off. Yep, there we go. So that's 72. And that gives us another loot bag. Does also clutter my inventory just a bit more, so let's throw these in here with the other fuels. Put the leather in there. Let's dump a few more things off on this side as well. Let's see. Saplings, seeds, and the raw beef goes in the drawer. And the crop sticks, I think I've actually got a chest of those as well somewhere. Yeah, for some reason they're here. I think they should be one here with the seeds. Oh, by the way, with the crop sticks, we can actually plant these now. These ore berries. Actually, you might be able to plant them without them. No, it says can be placed in an empty IC2 crop. So yeah, we can actually use these now if need be. So that's something we can do. Let's see. I could throw that scythe in here as well. And the butchery knife, why not? Alright, so let's go ahead and see what we get. We've got 3 Steam Age, 2 Stone Age loot bags. Let's start with the Stone Age ones, see what we get. Oh, bunch of saplings. And we got a vindaloo. Okay. And we got some sunflower broccoli salad and a couple of apples. Steam Age loot bags. Let's see what we get from these. Ooh. Oh, spawn a chicken. Alright, that's interesting. Would have been useful a little bit earlier. Ooh, that is something interesting. Bricked bronze hull for your first steam machines. That's quite good to get at this stage. We also got a lapis lazuli block and the final loot bag. Potion of fire resistance. 3 minutes. Not too bad. So yeah, I think that's gonna be pretty much it for this episode. So yeah, covered a couple of different topics, but yeah, we've definitely improved our kind of general agriculture feel. I wasn't liking the way our farms were looking before. I think now things are looking a little bit more, on par with everything else. So yeah, we've got quite a few different things growing here. In fact, these are almost already ready to harvest again. So yeah, this is a big winner in my opinion right here. These guys are going to be a huge upgrade over those. Just going to speed up wood gathering so much more. It's going to be so good. But yeah, so I'm quite pleased with progress today, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.